favorite musical? Drop a comment down below if you watch musicals. So today, I watched the film version of Rent, starring John Bon Jovi. And he plays like a 20-year-old despite being 43 in the movie when the movie was made, which I think is kind of funny. So I saw the stage performance, the stage production of Rent a couple years ago, and I didn't like it. But I watched Rent, the movie, and it's pretty good. If you don't know, basically the story is these folks, it's two guys really mostly, live in this kind of warehousey building, and their friend who used to live with them through fortuitous circumstances, he marries into a rich family who buys the building, and he tells the guys not to worry about rent. And then he comes back and he's like, hey, I need the rent that I told you I was waiving for the year, unless you do me a favor. So he's not like a great guy because of that, but at the same time, like, he's still a pretty okay guy. Like, when you look at, like, he's willing to waive the rent, he's willing to, like, if they do like this favor, like, he's like, you can live rent free here for like basically forever. So it's like, it's kind of a pretty good dude. And what he's asking for isn't like evil. He's just asking a friend, the roommates, to help him stop a protest who's being led by one of their friends. So it's kind of like, okay, that's really not that big of an ask. Like, he's being kind of a pretty cool dude, I think. Anyway, so John Bon Jovi's in it, Rosario Dawson's in it, and some other people are in it. But the movie version, I think, I don't know if it was because I didn't like the actors in the stage production I saw, because I didn't like the character of Mimi in the theater version. But in the film version, which stars Rosario Dawson as Mimi, I liked her a lot, and I was like, oh, okay. I think there was also some story tweaks maybe that happened, that maybe changed perception. I know certain things, they changed the pacing a little bit. If I remember correctly, it's been a couple years since I saw Rent the play. Also, in the play version, for whatever reason, they jump off of a table like 900 times, where in the movie they only do it a couple times. So I think I was just angry and hyperfixated, and I was like, why do they keep jumping off the table? Stop doing that. But if you ever see the stage production of Rent, now that's gonna be in your head. You're gonna be like, why do they keep jumping off the table? It's just every scene they have to get on the table and they jump off it. I'm like, how are their knees holding up like for this? Like, they're not jumping high, but like, you know, they're doing big jumps off a table that's like 3 or 4 feet high, so that they're jumping from like 6 feet down like a dozen or more times per character. Like, I'm not exaggerating. People jump off the table way too much in Rent. Stop doing that. It's annoying. So yeah, I think the film version is better. Although I do have a theory on musicals in film. I think a film musical is not very effective if most of the songs are big, full cast ensemble songs. So, for example, Grease, mostly solos and duets. Grease 2, I think there's only like one solo, is Michelle Pfeiffer's a cool writer. So Grease, good. Grease 2, not good. And I think it's because when you have all these people singing, it gets lost in the film because the camera can only, you know, and then there's some magic I think that happens when it's live. But you know, you can kind of look and you're just like, wow, okay, you know, there's something to that, where when the camera fixates on just one person of the group singing, it loses its effectiveness for some reason. So Rent, there are a couple ensemble songs, including the famous one of the 5,900, 600, whatever minutes song. It is an ensemble song, but they handle it pretty well. I like the way they did it, and even like the opening, you know, is kind of an ensemble ensemble song, but there's still like Rent does it well, and that like it's this guy is singing and then this guy is singing and then here's the chorus with like all the extras and like okay, but you're still the camera can still know what to look at and it still makes sense. Whereas like in Grease 2, it's like we're gonna bowl tonight and then they're dancing across all the lanes and they're like you're like what do you look at? They're all singing and none of them are great singers. So this movie review is really more about musicals and film in general. But anyway, John Bon Jovi does great. Rosario Dawson does great. I think they could have cast Mark better because I think in the play version Mark has a much bigger role, whereas in the film version he's kind of like a side character. Which I mean, they got John Bon Jovi and Rosario Dawson, so that kind of. Also, I feel like the Maureen Joanne storyline gets way too much screen time. I think you could cut almost all of that out except for the very relevant parts with Mark. You know, like in the film version, there's a party for Maureen and Joanne, and I'm like, it doesn't really need to happen because they're kind of side characters, but for whatever reason they get way too much like screen time. I wanted more. It would have been nicer to have more time on Mark and Roger and Mimi, and you know, obviously Angel and Collins are like that's kind of the big thing. If you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil what happens. But you know, I did, and maybe it's because I identify with Mark a little bit, you know, because he's a filmmaker and you know, wants to be an artist and all this stuff. So maybe that's why I thought that. But that was what I liked the most about the stage show was the Mark character and the way you know I really liked the in the stage show. They do like a narration passing of time with an answering machine, and they kind of do that in the film, but film has so much better, more effective ways of showing the passage of time. So, you know, I guess it's nice they didn't have to rely on that, and that they handled it well. But I did like that element of the stage show. I thought it was kind of cute. And, it shows up a couple times in the film, but not nearly in the same way or with the same power. So, yeah, that's kind of my review. I would say. Overall, I liked it. I liked the movie version a lot better than I liked the stage performance. But again, maybe it's because I didn't care for the actors when I saw the stage performance. But I would say it's a good film. I think you should watch it. It's a little long, but that's my opinion. I feel like most movies that are over 2 hours would be better if they were cut down. Almost universally, there's very few movies that I think are over 2 hours. But I'm like, that deserve to be over 2 hours. You know, like with Rent, you cut out like half of the Joanne and Maureen scenes, and I wouldn't miss them. And I think the film would be stronger for it. And I think most films, because that's what happens is, if you get over 90 minutes, you really gotta have a reason to be over. That's where the attention span for a lot of people starts to dwindle. And I feel like 90 minutes is like the perfect unit of entertainment. You know, it's like. It's long enough to get enough in, but it's not too long that it's like a commitment. Like Rent is like 2:15, and I'm like that's kind of a commitment to like that's what you're gonna do tonight. Like I'm gonna watch Rent, whereas like a 90-minute film you could get like 2 or 3 in, which is still counterintuitive because I can watch 2 films and that's 3 hours. But there's something like you know there's that gap time of like I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'm gonna get some snacks. You know, come back, boom, next movie. But like, I don't know, there's like a mental exhaustion, I guess, that happens when a film is like 2 hours long, and you just kind of like, well, I'm done with movies for the day. So, yeah, to recap, pretty good. Rosario Dawson, she's great, we like her. John Bon Jovi, pretty good, even though he's 20 years too old for the character he was playing. Little long, could use some cutting. That's gonna be a recurring theme in my reviews. I would say watch it if you can find it and you like musicals. Yeah, give it a watch. It's pretty good. So there you have it. That is my first ASMR review for the day. Question of the musical. It could be on stage or it could be film. I think my favorite movie musical is probably Grease. Or maybe Hairspray, the newer Hairspray. I haven't seen the old one. Actually, The Producers might be my favorite musical. The newer version. I didn't care for the older one. And then on the stage, I haven't seen as many as I want to, but probably Wicked or Pippin. Those would be my two. That'd be where my two votes go. So, anyway, I'm up here doing well. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. There's going to be a lot more of them because I watch a lot of movies. I'm trying to watch 365 movies this year. I'm at like 182, so I got a lot more movies to watch.